Hello and
Oh,
welcome to another episode of the Playlist Podcast with me, Gemma. Jack will be back for the music festival that we are hosting in August. You can check out our social medias for more details. But today I'm joined by a special guest, Ste Walker. Hello.
hi, thanks again for having me. Like I said, it's really good to be on. I like what you guys are doing with the all the charity stuff and everything.
Thank you. Um, For any of our listeners that haven't heard of you before, did you just want to introduce yourself and what you do?
Yeah, sure. I'm a singer songwriter. I taught myself to play guitar when I was a teenager. I'm in my early 30s now, so I'm no spring chicken anymore. But sort of last year, it was in lockdown by accident, really. I started to actually try to sing and play guitar at the same time. And I was in isolation for 10 days. And yeah, that's when I sort of started writing my own songs. And yeah, since then I sort of started playing at a load of open mics and
Mm.
I've started the gigs and everything. And yeah, now I've got enough songs for an album, which I'm slowly recording. And yeah, I've just been trying to share it. And yeah, so far I'm really enjoying it, and that's what it's all about for me. I just love music, so I'm just going to see where it ends up, really.
Brilliant. A lot of musicians that we've had on have kind of got like the same backstory of getting into music through the lockdown. And
Yeah, really helps, doesn't it? Something
it
at a
does.
time like yeah, um, it certainly helped me. I was really glad that I did teach myself to play guitar when I did,
Mm.
uh, because yeah, more than ever during those times, it really did keep me going, and
Mm.
things like this as well also really helped interact with people. And yeah, so yeah, I was very grateful that I had learned an instrument um, when I did.
So how did you learn the guitar then?
Um, well, as I say, I was a young teenager, and I just got into music, and I just decided I wanted to learn to play.
Mm.
I wish I'd started earlier, but it's just the way that it fell. So I remember not pestering, but cajoling my mother into buy me a guitar for Christmas, and she got me a second-hand acoustic guitar,
Mm.
and it had a book with it, a few chords in, and a few sort of classic beginner songs. So I just sat for hours with it and taught myself, and then I played for years on and off. And over the last year or two, I've got a little bit better than I used to be. I kind of plateaued for a while, um, and yeah, so yeah, yeah, slowly improving. And with writing your own music, I find that really helps
Mm.
as well to yourself forward in that way.
I I kind of I learnt to play the guitar, but I was at primary school when I had lessons, and
Uh,
after primary school, I just stopped because there was other people that were in the lesson with me, and I was a lot better than them, and they were kind of like stopping me from progressing because the teacher
huh.
was always helping them. So I kind of stopped, and I kind of regret that. Um,
So you were too good, basically.
I picked it up really quickly, but a lot of
Yeah,
people found it really hard, and yeah.
I think different people are talented at different things, aren't there? Some things come
Mm.
naturally one person that don't to another. I would say I'm not particularly brilliant, um, but I can kind of get by. on guitar. I could be a lot better, and what I need to do is put more time into theory and notes and scales and keys and things like that. To a
Mm.
degree, I can play along to anything that I hear.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm no Jimi Hendrix. So yeah, I'm gonna sort of go back to school on that one and do some homework. And yeah, in
Mm.
time, I slowly get better for that. But so far, I'm just kind of making things up as I go along.
It must help, like having to. If you're writing your own songs, you haven't got the pressure of learning specific songs because you're
Yeah,
just doing it as you go.
that's it. And because I don't really have any expectations, there's no pressure either. Because like I say, I'm just doing it for the love of it to really
Mm.
enjoy it. Um, yeah, so I don't really, yeah, I don't worry about the theory and stuff. Don't get me wrong, that will help me, and I will put some time into that. But yeah, I almost don't care. Some some of the best musicians didn't even know a single note of theory, did they? So, but yeah, it can only be a good thing to learn more about it. So, as I say, I will put more time into it.
So, in terms of your music, then, have you got any inspirations? Like, who are your main musical inspirations?
Yeah, definitely got inspirations, and I think that my uh, music is kind of a mishmash of those, as I suppose it is for most musicians. Um, but I started getting into kind of rock and indie music when I was in my teens, and I think one I think one of the first albums, if not the first album I bought with my own money, By the Way by the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Mm.
So I really got into to them, um, and then I found out about other bands. I was also really into a band called The Drums that not many people know about. I got to see them a few years ago. Um, it's Shepherd Bush. That was really good. I really like a band called Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. Again, not many people know about them, but they really are awesome. So yeah, if anyone who's watching or listening hasn't checked them out, they're really worth listening to. And a band called the Brian Jonestown Massacre. But I appreciate different kinds of music. There's kind of I almost end up rapping sometimes in my songs, and some of it is spoken word. I sing, but uh, yeah, it ventures into an almost kind of rap style as well.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm influenced by lots of different types of music, and I'm open-minded. My one of the songs I've got on Spotify, as I say, I'm slowly recording an album, and I've got two songs on there up to now. The second one that I've put on there, it's called "You Don't Know Me," and it's in some of the playlists that I've been getting into. It's finding itself in rock and metal um, sessions as well. So I
Mm.
think that's kind of cool because that's not something that I really knew about myself before I started recording.
Yeah.
And yeah, the producer that I'm with, he's called Dan Kane, based in Lincoln. And yeah, he's mixed both of those songs so far, and I'll be recording the rest of my album with him. And yeah, he really adds a lot to my music. And yeah, he's kind of helped me discover the sort of punk, heavier rocker that I didn't necessarily know was in me.
Mhm. So you've just mentioned your new single, "You Don't Know Me." Can you tell us a bit about how the song came about?
Yeah, sure. I was actually um, just in this room, and that's the quickest song I've written. It only took me about 20 minutes, and I think a lot of my music it's about sort of standing up for yourself, and yeah, there's kind of an anti-bullying message in there a lot of the time. Don't get me wrong, I go into other subjects as well. But yeah, I'm big on that, and so yeah, I was kind of thinking back to when I was younger, and yeah, I went through some experiences myself with bullying, and yeah, I guess I kind of channeled that like
Mhm.
without even meaning to, and yeah, it all just came out in that song, and it's only a short one. It's just over 2 minutes, but I think it kind of works, and there's a lot of angst in it
Mm.
that kind of comes out all in that short space of time. So that's how that song came about one day. It just sort of started coming to me, and yeah, it came about all in one go.
It is a very strong message for a song. Very
Yeah,
relatable for some people.
yeah. Well, I hope so. Yeah, it's quite personal, I guess. A lot
Mm.
of my stuff is personal. Some of my lyrics aren't so much. Sometimes it's kind of just like things that rhyme or that I sound cool, or I might
Mm.
be telling a story that isn't necessarily true to life. But um, a lot of the time, it does kind of start with a personal experience that I've had that relates to me. And I think, yeah, like I've been through a fair amount in my life, as a lot of people have, and we all sort of, um, as musicians, I guess we all kind of channel that. And
Yeah.
yeah, so that's how that kind of came out in that particular song.
Um. So you mentioned earlier that you do a lot of open mic performances.
Yeah.
Have you got any plans to do like your own gigs in the future?
Yeah, I've been doing gigs as well. I've got one on, got two this week, I think, off the top of my head. I have to think. Yeah, so I've got one on Saturday, one on Sunday, and then I've got others lined up um, for the rest of the month in July and August. Um, so yeah, and I play alongside some really good musicians. Um, but yeah, I would say if anyone's unsure about sticking with going to music, whether it's their own, performing their own music or not, I would say go to open mics and just do it. When I first
Yeah.
did it, sort of, it was this time, well, July last year was the first sort of time I played at an open mic or performed live. And I knew I wouldn't be brilliant to start with, but if you just kind of accept that, you'll soon kind of, yeah, get past that, and then you just start to get better and better the more you do it, like anything in life, really.
Mm.
Um, So yeah, I've got gigs planned up, and I'll still be doing open mics as well. And yeah, it's all about just getting my music and my kind of message out there, I guess.
So where would be your dream venue to perform at?
That's a good question. It's not one I've really put a lot of thought into, but um, I like the idea of living in America someday.
Mm.
It, maybe just for part of the time. Um, But yeah, maybe just somewhere. I'll tell you what, actually, come to think about it, somewhere like Nashville, somewhere like
Mm.
that.
Yeah.
Got a chance to go there a few years back, but I didn't take it. Um, Not through music, because at that time I wasn't. Yeah, I never even dreamed that I would be doing my own music back then. But yeah, I love that. It's a really musical place, and from what I can gather, everywhere you look, there's live music everywhere. So yeah, somewhere like that would be really good. But to be honest, anywhere that people appreciate it,
Mm.
um, yeah, sometimes you'll play and somebody will come up and just say, "Oh, I really like that song," or there was something about it that they relate to. And to me, I've already surpassed my own expectations with my music. Um, yeah, I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not some big time artist or anything, but the fact that anyone listens to it at all to me is a really cool thing that someone would go out of the way to listen to anything that I created.
Brilliant. Well, it seems like you're doing really well, especially with the new single.
I guess you could say so. Yeah. I've, like I say, I've got into a few playlists, and when I play in Lincoln, where I live,
Mm.
the words to "You Don't Know Me" have caught on quite a bit, so people sing along. And like I say, I think that's awesome. The other day, a few of my friends that I met there were playing it in the car, and they sent me a short video of it. And I thought, that's awesome. Um, so shout out to you guys. You know who you are. Um, whenever I whenever I do stuff like this, not that I do it very often,
Mm.
um, I like to, if I'm going to give people a shout out, I like to give everybody all the same kind of treatment, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they know who they are. But yeah, like I say, I just think it's mad um, that anybody would listen to it, and I really appreciate it when people can relate to it somehow.
Mm. I think since over over the last 2 years, I think a lot of people have become more open to independent musicians and listening and discovering new musicians, basically.
Yeah, I think you're right. And in a way, I wonder if it's like kind of a fate thing that I've got into music when I have, or writing my own music and performing it when I have. Because yeah, I think in with the whole lockdown situation, um, people sort of had to be more open. And yeah, I really appreciate when uh, people like you guys on your podcast go out of the way to sort of yeah, support that. Because I'm not saying this is the case with me, but I'm sure there are lots of musicians out there that are awesome that never got discovered at all.
Mm.
But yeah, now I think it's really good that anybody can just record something and put it online. And yeah, for me, it's all about expressing myself. So yeah, it's about that and putting it out there. And
Mm.
yeah, if people relate to it, that's just a really big bonus for me.
So you said that you're working on an album. Where do you see yourself in like 3 to 5 years time?
Oh, that's another good question. Um, I've not really thought that far ahead with music. I'm very much living for the moment,
Mhm.
which I really like actually, because for a little while, um, yeah, my life wasn't like that. I was living a bit too much in the future, thinking ahead all the time. Don't get me wrong, I think it's important to plan ahead, but I guess uh, I like to think that I'll just be uh, an improved version of myself now, maybe playing for more people, um, just bigger gigs perhaps. Don't get me wrong, the gigs I'm playing at now are awesome.
Mm.
It'd be good just to get around a bit and travel a bit and play in different places. But um, yeah, I would have thought in say 3 years, I would have had a couple of albums out perhaps. Um, and yeah, see where it goes really. I'm just going to put my best foot forward with it and see what happens. That's all you can do
Mm.
in any aspect of life, really. I think.
Um, One final question that we like to ask musicians that have been on. For musicians that are thinking about starting out in the industry, what advice would you give them?
Guess I kind of touched on it earlier, but I would say, yeah, be yourself because you are unique and everybody's different. And I think that will be appreciated if you wear your heart on your sleeve and yeah, really get across what it is that you're about. be true to yourself. I think that's the best thing that you can do. And I would just say, dedicate yourself to performing out and about, and just do as much as you can without maybe burning yourself out or overdoing it. And yeah, I, I sort of focus on quality over quantity.
Mm,
So if there were what, I might have planned to play at an open mic, say, as long as I'm not letting anybody down. If
mm.
I'm not like feeling like it on a day, I won't beat myself up about it. I'll just say, right, well, I'll take a rest today, then I'll go tomorrow or another day or whatever. Um, and yeah, just be yourself and yeah, just be dedicated and try your best.
It's really good advice. I like that. um, so where can we catch your music?
Ah, it's another good one. So I'm on social media, as you know. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook by searching Ste Walker Music. Um, I've got a YouTube channel and I'm on Spotify and Bandcamp. If you go on Spotify and search Ste Walker, You Don't Know Me, or Words to the Wise, um, that's probably the most direct way to listen. But yeah, you can see my live performances on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. So feel free to follow me. For me, it's not about sort of likes or followers as such. It's about connecting with people. So
Yeah,
I like to connect with people. So yeah, feel free to reach out and yeah, see what I'm up to.
brilliant. Well, thank you for coming on.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Like I said, I really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to playing in your charity gig. It's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be awesome. Yeah, I really appreciate anything like that. Anything to do to help other people. So yeah, I'll be really proud to be a part of it.
Brilliant, thank you. And you can catch Steve Walker's new single "You Don't Know Me" on all of the platforms that we've mentioned. And for all of our listeners, thank you for listening, and we'll see you at our festival because this is the last episode until the festival on the 5th to the 7th of August. So we hope that you come along and have a listen, have a watch, and maybe donate as well to our two lovely charities that you can catch more details on our website and on our social media accounts. And we'll see you at the festival. Thank you and goodbye.